Here at Wyopreps.com, we talk about our athletes of the week throughout this fall season. Our latest winner on the girls' side, Hadley Leithead from the Southeast Cyclones, helped them win the 1A East Regional Volleyball Championship last week. In 3 matches, she had 36 kills, 3 service aces, and as well as 8 total blocks and 10 digs, hit 324 throughout the 3 matches. And Hadley joins me. Thank you for your time. I know you're busy getting ready for the state tournament, so thanks for squeezing me in. Go back to last weekend. How do you think you played and the team played at regionals?
I think I played pretty well in the beginning. I was a little bit nervous and kind of all over the place. And then once I played more games, I started getting in my groove and started playing better and to my ability. And as a team, I think we played really great. We're all pretty connected and close. So I think we all did our part to take the championship.
What do you think the key to your success as a team was last week to win that regional title and get the top seed from the East?
We just all as a team do our part and make sure that we're working as a team and making sure that we're doing it together instead of separately. We need to do it together to play at our best.
Okay, I gotcha. Was there any one particular part of the game that really stood out last week? Was it the serving, the attacks, the passing? Was there anything that stood out to you?
Not really. I think we all of it just was pretty good. So it all came together. Not one specific thing was really good or one thing that needed to work on. I think we all did pretty well in each thing to connect it together.
What was like in the championship match? Because that seemed like a kind of a dogfight between you and Upton. How would you describe that match?
It was super fun, but also nerve-wracking. We just all had to keep our mental stability and make sure that we kept control of ourselves so that we could do what we needed to do for the next set.
Okay, gotcha. How do you describe this Southeast team this year? You mentioned the word connected. What makes you maybe so connected, do you think?
Well, since we go to a small school, we've all been around each other for many, many years and we're all pretty much really good friends, and we do well working together, and it helps on the court.
Obviously, state tournament this weekend. What do you think are some keys for the team to be successful this weekend?
Making sure that we play our game and don't underestimate the other team or overestimate them and just do what we know how to do.
Okay. What's it like? You mentioned small school and knowing each other. So what's it like to play for the Cyclones and represent a program that's had a lot of success?
I think it feels pretty good. Yeah, we're undefeated in our conference and at regionals, and it's really nice having coaches that support us and are always there for us. It's nice to know that they have our back and that we have a school that's super supportive as well.
I was going to ask you, what is it like to play for Coach Anderson there?
She's great. She's really supportive, and she says a lot during our sets that she never doubts us and that she knows that we can pull through, and she has a lot of faith in us.
Well, Hadley, thank you so much for taking some time. Congrats on being our athlete of the week, and best of luck at state.
Thank you.
We continue talking about our athlete of the week honors here at Wyopreps.com, and this time we turn our attention to the boys' side from last week, and we honor one of the football players, Caden Clifford from Big Piney, who helped the Punchers beat Southeast in the first round or quarterfinal round of the playoffs. 259 yards rushing with 3 touchdowns, averaged 9.2 yards per carry last week. And then on defense, ended up with 17 points with 8.5 tackles. And Caden joins me right now. Caden, first of all, take me back to last Saturday. You guys are at home. You had lost to Southeast earlier this year. So what was kind of your mindset and the team's mindset going into this playoff rematch last Saturday?
Yeah, the team's mindset was kind of just get our footing after the conference championship lost and try and bounce back because we knew we were better than that, need to play a lot better. And just playing at home is a huge difference, helps out a lot.
I bet it does. Talk a little bit about your performance, 259 yards on the ground. Everybody in the whole state knows you're going to get the ball. So how are you so effective?
Lots of credit to my line. They're amazing. Love them. I run my butt off, try to keep my legs turning, hit the second level and burst.
Gotcha. Where does the execution come from? Can you pinpoint why you guys have been so successful? Because as I mentioned, everybody pretty much knows that you're getting the football quite a bit for the punchers offensively. So where does that execution, I guess the fine points kind of come down to?
A lot of it actually is the line. They get to their spots, and then I'm taught to hit the right cut at the right time. And when they're getting to their spot, it makes it a lot easier. Yeah, I don't know.
How big was that playoff win? I talked with Coach going into that game. He kind of has a sense that maybe you guys feel a little overlooked being the defending champs this year and maybe not a ton of respect. But as you look at it, talk a little bit about just kind of what your guys' mindset is right now in the playoffs.
Yeah, we didn't at the beginning of the year, probably didn't expect to be where we are now. Came together as a team about 3 weeks in and just started rolling. So just it feels awesome to be where we are now, kind of just doing it as a team.
Talk a little bit about how your role has changed from last year to this year. Obviously, you guys had a big senior class that helped lead you guys to the state title. You were a pivotal player in that, but how has your role changed this season?
Yeah, last year I was splitting carries, and this year I have like the majority. But kind of the role as a leader changed, going from being one of the younger ones on the team to now being the senior on the team, talking them up, making sure they're in the right spots on defense, just help leading them.
Okay. And then for you, what are you looking forward to in the semifinal game this week?
Oh, it's going to be fun. Just I want to go out and play a tough game, give them a run.
Yeah. And then how's it to have your brother kind of maybe not splitting the carries with you, but maybe taking a little pressure off here or there?
It's awesome to be doing it with him. I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else. It's so fun.
Yeah. And describe what is it like to play for Coach Moffitt there at Big Piney High School?
He's awesome. Does a great job at making sure everybody's where they need to be, scheming the right stuff. Yeah, he's a great coach. I wouldn't want to do it for anybody else either.
Well, Caden, congrats on a big week. Congrats on being one of our athletes of the week. And thanks so much for the time.
Thank you.
We continue talking about our athlete of the week honors here at Wyopreps.com. This is in recognition of last week's performances and one of our football winners this week, Hunter Saltsgaver from Riverton, in an absolutely wild and thrilling double overtime game for the Wolverines, 36-35 win over Powell. He ran for 146 yards, 3 touchdowns, including both the TDs in overtime. Had a couple catches for 32, kicked a couple PATs, ended up scoring 20 of their points in the game, and then added just a couple tackles, 3 of them on defense. And Hunter joins me. Congrats on being our athlete of the week. Take me back to last Friday night. Describe that atmosphere, that game, man. What was that like to be a part of?
Man, it was something else. Like, just so exciting. Definitely not like how we drew it up, man. But hey, we got it done. But yeah, no, it was definitely so exciting. Not anything like I'm used to, man. But yeah, no, it was awesome. Like the grit and the determination at the end of the game we had. Like, I mean, we were down 20-0 at half and just never gave up. And like the line, everyone from a starter to a person on the bench to a coach, everyone, like we were still in it. Like we didn't even flinch. So it's perfect.
I was going to ask you, down 20 to nothing,
Mhm.
what changed for you guys? What do you think the difference was that allowed you to come back besides being at home?
Right. Yeah, no. So honestly, I think it was kind of just like guys, we can't flinch. Like we just gotta turn it on. And then like the line like stepped up clearly. Like we started moving the ball. And whenever we start moving the ball and get into a groove, it's a problem. Like our offense, like it's tough for teams whenever like we keep the ball and whenever our defense gets a stop, it's tough. So yeah, whenever we got our groove, it was definitely the difference maker.
Your touchdowns in overtime. Can you describe them, what you saw on those plays? So let's start with the first
Yeah.
overtime.
So I mean, it was a couple counter plays. Whenever I'm running the ball, obviously I'm just kind of cutting. It's kind of just like soccer, just kind of foot skills. And so whenever I see one, I'm just dodging. But yeah, no, whenever I broke through the line, I saw linebackers, I just kind of do what I do and try and make guys miss, and then ended up working out for us. So yeah, but I mean, our line doesn't get enough credit. Like seriously, like this game, they really stepped up. Like it would have been so easy for them to give up in that second half, but they just kept fighting. And I mean, I know the stats look good, but they really worked hard.
For you, talk a little bit about this. You scored the first touchdown in the first overtime,
Hmm.
but you can't play in the next play.
Right.
So then you
So
guys go for two because you're the kicker.
yep.
So what's going through your mind when you're standing on the sideline and you can't even help your teammates?
Right. So in practice, I'd kind of had a little shoulder thing. I mean, it's all right now, but that happened, I think it was Wednesday, and that had been bothering me. And sometimes I can kind of feel it pop. I mean, it's fine now. I've got it dealt with, but whenever that happened, I felt a pop, and so I was down. I was like, I'm trying to get it back in place. Well, then the ref looks at me and he's like, "You got to come off," because I was down trying to get it to like pop back. And so then they're like, "You can't play the next play." So then we go for two, and then yeah, no, it was definitely stressful, but I mean, our other players, our D, they made it happen, and our O made it happen. So yeah, it was great.
All right. So then they come back, tie it,
Hmm.
score two, force the second overtime. They get the ball first, obviously, because you flip in the second OT. They
Right.
score. What's going through your guys' mind then after they score when you have to match it?
Right. No, I'm just thinking like this is my time. Like I gotta move I gotta move the rock just as good as I can. So yeah, no, like kind of just thinking like, man, I just gotta play, follow my blockers, and do what I do. So yeah.
And what was when coach calls timeout and is like, we're going for the win?
Mm-hmm.
What was the atmosphere like in that huddle on the near the sideline with coach and the rest of the staff in the offense?
Man, I mean, it was just like practice, man. We prepare so much. I mean, our coaches tell us this, and I believe it. They say we practice harder than anyone in the state, and we prepare for those moments. Like in practice, we were
Okay.
we were prepared. Like I don't think there was nerves in that. Like it was definitely intense, but I don't think anyone was nervous that was getting ready to on that final play and the plays before that. Like we knew what we had to do, you know?
So you end up, accounting for 178 yards of offense, 3 touchdowns. How would you describe your performance?
I think I felt like I ran the ball well, but like I said again, the line does not get enough credit. Like
Okay.
they played outstanding. Like yes, I got to make defenders miss, but if I don't get that like those blocks that they did for me, it's tough, you know? And like the boys like they stepped up. They stepped up. And it shows. Like the numbers show. So, yes, I'm making kids miss and I'm doing my thing, but you know that the line is just crucial.
Gotcha. All right. Talk about playing for Coach Linhart. What's that meant to you these last couple seasons?
Oh man, it's been a blast. I've got to see so much and learn so much about football because I'm gonna be completely honest. I play a lot of soccer and I play year round, so I don't really know a whole lot about the sport, but I'm like watching NFL games at home now and I'm like pointing out plays to my parents and they're like, "How do you know this? How do you know this?" And yeah, no, it's been great. I'm learning so much about this awesome sport. So yeah.
All right. Before I let you go, what are your thoughts facing the big dog Star Valley Friday night in Afton, man?
I mean, you know, we're an underdog, but that's the best, you know. We can kind of just show them like, hey, I mean, we got nothing to lose. We're hoping to go ball out and just see what we can do. But yeah, obviously they're a great team, but I mean, I think we're a good team too. So we can kind of just see what we're up against, I guess. Yeah.
Well, Hunter, that's all I got for you. Congrats on a great performance last week. Congrats on
Awesome.
being one of our athletes of the week, and I appreciate you taking a few minutes.
Yep. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.